Ancient on deck here between Nouns and TeamOne. And after a very confusing, chaotic, wild, and weird overpass, I'm not really sure what to expect heading into map number 2 here. John, what do you think?
I think more wild and crazy mayhem here
We
on
love a bit of
Ancient.
mayhem.
Yeah. I mean, given the fact that both teams haven't played much and they've never played it against each other, it's probably going to be them feeling each
Oh,
other out
look at
quite a
this.
bit and going for some bold strategies.
Speaking of bold strategies, the fight in towards mid, Mobs has taken a lot of damage, but this is going to be a bit of a cheeky A play. The double donut should still be a decent defense, but the question is, when is this pinch going to get activated? Cynic, if he gets his first frag, now he does. The crossfire is going to be existing. But they've cleared out the lurker, so now it's just a straight-up retake. Man advantage firmly in favor of Nouns. First Dinks going back the other way, though. Cynic gets caught by the box, and now it's getting a little awkward.
What?
Bodies are dropping one after another. They just can't stay alive. They can't keep the health in. TeamOne's done a great job of isolating these fights. It's all into Pesa, and CJ will run him down, so plenty of time for the defuse. We're picking up where we left off on overpass. Fast, dynamic plays, and no time wasted in these rounds.
Malls with 1 HP, just doling out the damage, getting 2, but finally Nouns get it back under control because they had a 2-man advantage at one point there, and it almost all disappeared. But they still do get that pistol round and make it 1-0 in their favor, and Nouns have actually won every single pistol round so far.
That helps.
Yeah.
Considering how close overpass got, that really helps. It ain't a bad way to start your maps.
Definitely not. As an immediate timeout here, I'm wondering if this is a technical one.
Gotta be. There's no way you don't have a plan going into the first round.
No, it's actually Nouns calling a timeout, Mike. Tactical.
Really?
Yeah.
A little bit of extra cheekiness off of that first round, maybe. Calming down the comms, discussing how they want to approach this. I mean, they haven't played a lot of Ancient, so it might be kind of feeling things out in real time.
Yeah. No, there's no question. And I mean, also, they haven't played it that much, so they probably don't have a feel for the way the map has changed over the last little bit, right? With the CT-sidedness of it kind of disappearing for the most part. More balanced than it's ever been before, at the very least. So the T's have much more of a chance here to make some noise on Ancient than they ever have before. TeamOne, not going to invest into this round, though. It's just going to be deagles across the board, a nade, and a flashbang. Mobs waiting behind this smoke is Carson, along with, I believe it's Cynic, that are looking to gain this mid-control. Oh, nice nade.
Ooh, what's a chunky boy? That's a chunky boy onto IDK. We're going to get double push out of A main. This is a little disjointed, but if they're just working a play in towards tree, it could wind up working. TRK is clearing vision in towards the site. There's the spot. Gotta be careful. Don't give up these duels to the Deeks. Rotation's going to be on here. 2 players close at hand. There's so many pistols out. All right, that's an important kill to find for MarKE. Start to whittle down these numbers, and yeah, they're A-okay. They've dropped the spawn. They've got that confirmation. Carson's chasing through. I can't call him a 50-50 peak, but he'll be the only one. There's no getting out of it for Pesadelo.
Nice and clean round there for the CT-sided Nouns. And that will give them a nice little economic foothold. 4 guns get carried over. 1 gets dropped for the player that was fragged in that previous round. And they are looking good to go here. Even against the AKs, they got 3 M4s up and running of FAMAS, an MP9, and full util. So this is not a bad buy-up at all for Nouns. In fact, I should say bonus round for them because only 1 player had to invest into it. IDK going to toss that nade on forward, but that utility battle towards mid is continuously being won by Nouns. They are just flooding with Molotovs and smokes. Maluk has gained the space here with Molotovs up the ramp towards B, though, and this is problematic for Nouns. They need to be careful.
Oh, they're going back. What? They're going back. They had to go in. They had to go in. You have the choice when that Molotov comes down. With 3 players so committed, I thought they just bully in towards the site. The molly was a bit late, but instead they panic, and in withdrawing, they take so much damage and lose Mulbs. Oh no, TeamOne. They don't have too much more utility. They've got a lot of flashes, but that's it. A singular smoke. 5 flashes. So those flashes better be good. Better be blinding up everybody in existence, to be quite frank. Got to lurk in towards mid. IEK's got this position, but with a cave push here, he could actually be quite vulnerable if they clear this out. He's pretty exposed if they go through the window. And TeamOne going to set up their single smoke. The only one they've got. Well, Luke's going to
Yeah.
toss it in. They're going to go out A main with 2. Here comes that smoke. It's for the CT angle. Potosha maybe coming back in as MarKE's calling for this, but he's just sprayed down 2. He's got the bomb, so this is disaster. This is the one thing they were hoping wouldn't happen. His angle prevented him from getting blinded by the flashbangs they were tossing, and Malu's just going to save.
This is just, I don't know. I don't know why TeamOne is second guessing themselves to that extent. You have a Molotov behind you. I'm talking about the B ramp engagement now.
Yeah.
Molotov behind you. No reason to retreat. You have the advantage. No one's really been spotted on the site, and Nouns were actually caught flat-footed. If TeamOne keeps going, they probably get the frag and the bomb plant right there. But instead, they back off, and that is the worst possible thing they could have done in that situation. And of course, the round doesn't go their way either, only saving an AK out of it.
And
Oh
now,
boy.
it's extremely early days here. We still got a
Yeah.
lot of map to play. This is where we're going to ask the questions about Ancient, which is that neither of these teams like to play it. For Team1, this was very much well, the normal way we do this veto hasn't worked out for us the last 2 times. Let's do something different. Let's try Ancient, assuming that Nouns would be less well prepared. I don't know. Still majorly early days.
Yeah.
Just some of these moments suggest maybe they haven't had as many live reps on the map as you'd like. Maluk down for the count early on. This is just a pistol round. We're not expecting much. IDK with 1 kill, but they'll keep the balance in favor, at least for the moment, of the CTs. IDK, he's been heard. He's ready for this, but IDK doesn't care. He still wins the engagement, and now they've got a path towards A, which would be awesome if they had a bomb. They don't, though. Oh, that could have been spicy, as Nouns are insisting on hunting. They don't realize they have the C4, I don't think, here, John.
I don't think so either. I don't think B-Wills has spotted it out, and now CJ goes down, and B-Wills takes the fight, and he wins it. Oh my goodness. IDK dropped, but had B-Wills realized he had the C4, maybe he would have called for his team and say, hey, let's just hold the bomb. But, I mean, it works out for them in the end. They get the trade. It's all good. But still, could have been a lot easier path to victory at that point. 4-0. In favor of Nouns as Team1 make that saved AK sing, right? They take 4 bodies down, an expensive round for Nouns, although B-Will still has 7.1k, everyone else a little light on the money. So mission accomplished, at least in that regard for Team1. We'll now have the 4 AKs and the op Carson along with Nouns. They're going for this aggressive mid control here.
Look at this space. Look at the space on A.
Every
Look at
round,
how much room they've got. The Trick's going to be rotating the bomb, but coming back in, Cynic gets that first. Okay, you got so much forward angle. Now the spot on the next, but insisting on the fight. There was a dink on.
There's another frag, though.
Oh, my goodness. And Carson is here in towards mid. Asa wanted to chase this. This is so disjointed. He gets caught off by IDK coming through the elbow. I don't know how you read anyone's position anywhere. There are 3 individuals playing different moves on the site. Now Pesa is taking so much control in towards Cave. If they can bring the bomb and link up with him, he's got so much vision in towards B, but now Nouns are trying to re-clear this. I can see where everybody is on the map, John, and I'm having trouble reading this. I don't know how you make sense of this as a team.
You don't. This is very difficult to go up against on both sides because both teams are not really experienced here. I think Nouns are playing it by ear. That's why they called such an early timeout here on Ancient to talk things over and say, what are we going to do here on the CT side?
It was TeamOne who called it, right? More confusing. It's their map pick. They've got the read. IDK commits himself to that fight, but meanwhile, the cavalry is here. Maluk knows where this player is, but if the window peek comes in, he's a dead man. He's got a Thunderfoot because it's 25 seconds on the clock. There's the peek. There's the check. He wants this kill, and he's not got it. This is...
Yes.
There is nothing standard about these games. I need to breathe here, John. We're like 5 rounds in, and I am struggling to keep up.
Yeah, it was Nouns that called the timeout. I just double checked.
It was.
So
okay.
Yeah. In fact, it was. So yeah, I don't know. Both teams playing it by ear so far. Nouns appears to have that edge. Every single round, they're going for a couple of players up mid, tossing a lot of utility, just going for that control, and leaving one player on the A side, which leaves A a little bit vulnerable. But so far, TeamOne hasn't been able to exploit that. And now they decide, okay, well, there's all this util towards mid. Let's just charge through it. And IDK is dead to rights. I mean, just it's a pistol round. Of course, take a bit of a gamble here as CJ is going to drop Maluk. And again, it's all favoring Nouns, who are just taking the fight to Team1. Using their util aggressively in the early round. It's working.
This is a lot more of what we expected, though.
Yeah.
This is a lot more logical, shall we say. You've got the sight lines, you got the player Donut, you got the player Red Room. Carson's doubtless going to go for a peek because it's Carson. Cleared off the lurk. They know they've got both players, or at least I think they've seen both players here in towards mid. So now you start to chew up the control here at the window. Just limit the possibilities. A bit of an overextension there from CJ. Another one as well from D-Wills. Now suddenly we've got a round on our hands. Pesa, he's turning this one on its head. Bombs rotating off. They've got a chance. That was looking hopeless, and suddenly there's a real opportunity for this. Carson's going to try and get back into the angle. If he can isolate this fight into cave, it'd be huge. But Pesa, I think he's further up than Carson expects. Carson's committing to the B main play, and if Pesa clears this... Oh, he's not checking. The bomb's down, and chaos continues. God. Pesa will bring it down to the 1v1, as TRK was never expecting a player to be into that position. Oh, the bombs dropped. The bombs dropped. The fight's there, and Cynic's got it. None of these rounds seem to be possible to run standard.
I don't... Look, I got a lot of problems with that. I got a lot of problems with that round, Mike. I mean...
The pistol round. It was a 4v2? 5v2?
5v2, Mike. It was a 5v2, and Nouns went to chase the fight. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, and lost 3 bodies in a row. There's no reason to take a single fight in a 5v2. You just wait on the bomb sites for them to come to you. You don't have to be aggressive. Sure, you can poke and prod 1 time, but not 3 times. That was weird. Nouns are lucky to get out of it with the round victory. And even the last engagements, no one knew where the other was. It was just constant and total chaos, as kind of predicted. Maluk gets the opener here onto the A site as they're trying to blitz forward, and it works as they have 4 players up. And I was mentioning, in the early round, A is very vulnerable, and TeamOne finally recognizing that and get a second here from Mobs.
Oh, gap in the smoke, though. Cynic will take advantage. This is messy, though. Mobs making it happen. 3 huge kills. And now at this point, Cynic, it's not even guaranteed that he's going to be able to save. Has to face the fight. Mobs will collect his 4th notch on the butt of his gun. And because of how chaotic, because of how touch and go these last few rounds have gotten, the money for Nouns is putrid. Cynic has cashed nobody else. This is likely a double eco investment type of situation in TeamOne.
No, Cynic's buying up.
Yeah, it's a double eco. They're going in.
I would have liked him to buy maybe an M4, drop an SMG, something, but...
They're in.
All right.
They're in. Chaos round. The Eagles up. So here they go.
All right.
On they ride. Let's see what the big gun can do. It's holding in towards Donut right now. These tight angles in the cave can actually take usually in Eagles' hands. Looking for it. They're looking for this fight. TeamOne. They know. They know, up against Nouns, that no round is free.
Yeah.
You cannot trust any situation.
I don't know if this ancient pick was planned beyond, hey, let's try for this. Like, it doesn't feel like TeamOne came in here having a practiced ancient and we're prepared for it against Nouns.
That's that op. Now they know there's an AWP. Okay. Do they try and reroute, or they try and pressure the site? They know the op is at. It seems like they're going to go in towards mid, but Cynic could actually reroute to adjust to this. Nobody's watching this right now. This is a bit of the problem, but it does seem like they want to pinch in towards A. And, well, if the AWP takes his space in towards Donut, it's such a strong position to hold from. There's no longer anyone here. Oh, my goodness. He beat the timing. Cynic finds a 3rd. Cynic just down to 1. A duel with Maluk. And plenty of time for his teammates to rotate in. Even if Cynic falters at this point, here's where TeamOne feel the pressure. The flank is developing. There's only 25 seconds. Maluk, if he gets this kill, it's probably just going to set him up to save. B-Wills.
Oh.
Giving him the slip for now. There's the check. There's the peek. He knows he just has to keep him contained. Maluk just desperately trying to hold on to this op. B-Wills wants to keep him occupied to run that clock out of time. And Cynic will come in for the killing blow. 4 in the round. A massacre here.
I'm sorry, Cynic. I'm sorry for questioning your decision.
Never doubt him.
The op was absolutely the right call. 4 frags come through. Hey, look, he was the top frag this season. I guess he gets the benefit of the doubt. And he called around himself, and why not? if you're going to play like that and frag like that against TeamOne. 7th round picked up. TeamOne still had a buy up in the bank there. But man, that is a terrible way to lose the round, given that Nouns only had that lone op, and it rung true for 80% of the frags in the round. Oh, goodness me. Nothing predictable about this one so far. Maluk firing a shot off there towards the ramp. He was flashed off. And 3 players playing passively towards the B site for Nouns this time. This is a significant shift from their usual style here, at least from what we've seen so far. No presence around mid, except for Carson. He's all the way back in the red room. Not sure what kind of read they have here, but expecting TeamOne to come to B, and I mean, so far they're right. The bomb not in their possession. That's TeamOne. Still all the way back towards T-spawn. So someone's going to have to reroute and grab that. I imagine it's going to be Pesa eventually.
One of the cheekiest info peeks I've ever seen from Malls. Just tries to peer just above the wooden panel to see if there's a player over by the steps. There's not, and they're rerouting. They're giving this up. They're headed towards A instead. Which you'd really like to see CJ start to rotate off of this. MarKE hits the first. That's a nice find. Softens them up, but the pressure's going to be here out of Donut. Oh my goodness, Carson. The flash, they don't clear it. Oh! They do. Maluk realizes it just in the nick of time, but MarKE's still dealing damage. Man advantage going to be available here. They need to get this bomb. They need to get it down. No time for hesitation. Mobs is going to be under pressure. Oh, they know where he is. They know where he is. They're trying to bait him in. The shot's not going to land, though. Big missed opportunity for Cynic, and that is a salvation play coming through for TeamOne. Now they got a chance to play for this, and there's no utility on now, so they can't go for the defuse. They just have to shoot their way out. First one found. Looking for more. Got it as well. Know where the last player is. Bomb in an awkward angle. They can actually force the peek in. Stick it. Shot's not on. And TRK, he's just won this for his squad. He can play with the time. He can play with the clock. He can play with the defuse. It's just baiting CJ off of it, so he will secure a much-needed round for TeamOne.
Oh, man. I mean, that was the risk for TeamOne, right? Dedicating 2 of their 3 players. Oh, no. CJ doesn't get far enough away to save the op. He would have been better off just taking the fight at that. Yeah, maybe just take the fight because you can't go far enough away from the bomb. But look, that doesn't matter. I honestly thought that Nouns played that pretty intelligently, given the fact that they realized TeamOne took that risk and sent 2 players down to Donut. But you section yourselves off and you force yourselves into a very narrow hallway that is Donut, going towards that A site again. And Nouns realizing only 1 player is on B, or excuse me, on the site proper. So they get that frag and they get a second one. I thought they had TRK too, but man, what a shot from TRK to ensure that TeamOne hang on and get a second round, although no one survives out of the round.
No. Still, it does favor the T side in this kind of a situation, and they desperately need these kind of rounds. They desperately need to sweep that economy off the board for Nouns. So this one's going to be another force, but this one's going to be even more limited. There's no AWP this time. It's crazy to think that shot at Donut. The play was actually brilliant, right? You have B-Wills facing with an SMG. He's trying to bait the peek in towards the AWP. If that shot lands, the whole defense unravels for TeamOne. Mobs had to come up with those kills, and he does so. The idea was good. Execution, not so much for Nouns. So again, we're going to get the early show of force here towards the B site. Utility sailing in to keep the numbers present. But TeamOne have shown that this is mostly a feint, mostly a poke to see what poke comes back. And then off of that info, they actually make their read. Denying division in towards mid. Begging for a response here, clearing out their corners, taking the space, sets up the rotate. This is a good way to process through the map. Early lean B, pull out the utility from the CTs, pull out any aggression that's going to come through. Then you start to shift in and open up your options. They're scaling nicely here. Seems like we're going to get a play in towards the cave. If there's a flashbang for this, this could be good. And indeed there is. CJ tossing it for his comrades. But they're a little bit too late. Bodies have slipped the net, so all they've got is information. That information tells them, well, it's an A take. They may have found it out too late. Carson, great shot there. Needs some more of those. He's going to get him. Oh, my goodness, Carson. finding something out of nothing. This should have been hopeless. And his flashbang nets him a third. Carson has just swung this by the might of his D. And now there's bodies on. MarKE at the tree is not expected at all. It's a disaster. Another round snatched from nothing here. And again, TeamOne just cannot take any advantage.
They can't get 2 in a row. Oh my goodness, Carson. I mean, standing on his head in that round. He's been a little slow to start here on Ancient compared to what happened on Overpass, but wow, 1, 2, and even the third off of his flashbang that was thrown him. By the time he got that third, like you said, Mike, the reinforcements had arrived, and they were the most potent ones with the MP9s at close range. Oh my goodness. Nouns get an 8. They've already won this half. TeamOne are relegated back down to a pistol by at Forward Eagles, a Tech 9. A little bit of a fast play here into mid, and maybe they catch MarKE off. No, but they will get B-Wills. Nice shot from Malps, who's very good with that Deagle. Maybe he can match what Carson did in that previous round. And, well, no, MarKE quickly puts him down, and Carson gets TRK. Only Maluk left, but he will get a bomb plant here.
Oh, yeah, CJ a little too far off to pull this. That's a bit of a blunder. That's a bit of a mistake. That allows a lot more economy to bloom here for TeamOne than they needed to do so. So good find from Maluk. Decisive moment.
Oh.
I think Carson's being chastised for allowing that bomb to go down.
Or CJ is.
CJ, yeah. Carson's doing the chastisement.
Yes.
A little, capital, not capital,
no.
Corporal punishment. There we go. Hopefully not capital punishment.
All right. Well, it's problematic though, for sure, because you give TeamOne a full buy-up now, as opposed to what would have been a much more difficult buy-up, at least in terms of utility. They didn't get that bomb plant. Look at this. A-site's free and clear for the taking. No one available on the defensive end, and this should be a bomb plant, although Carson's trying to close the gap from Donut. Malbs gets the opener onto MarKE. And I mean, now at this point, you might even call it a save. I mean, it's so tough to get back into the site with all the utils sailing their way.
It wouldn't be very Nouns of them.
CT. No, it wouldn't.
It would be the prudent choice, but that's exactly why it wouldn't be very Nouns of them. Flashbang gonna push them off the angle. Now here comes the play. Base caught!
No
and now
way.
they're out. They're out through the choke point. TRK restoring some order. Madness for going in. It's heavy damage on either side, but just 2 players remaining. And yeah, Nouns are seeing that while they can take a lot of situations,
not that one, yeah.
they can't make everything happen the way they'd want it.
Yeah, definitely the way they were posted up in that post plant, it would have been better to just go for the save, but they decide to chance it, and of course, well, it doesn't work out. Cynic saves the op, though, and he has 5.7k, so this could trigger a buy-up, and I think, given its Nouns, it probably will. 9-3 advantage as well. They want to keep the pressure on against TeamOne. And they have successfully sectioned off TeamOne every single time that they've gotten around victory and haven't allowed them to get 2 in a row yet. So let's see what they decide to do after this timeout expires. It is TeamOne calling for the timeout this time. Yeah, and there is that buy-up.
It's a good time to do it for TeamOne, right? This is a very important round for them. If they can crack through here, you got a chance to make this a decent T-half. But if Nouns can find a little more of that special juice they seem to pull out anytime TeamOne's about to string 2 together, then we stay in the realm of chaos and interesting.
Yeah. I think Nouns double digits here is problematic for TeamOne no matter which way you slice it. I think they have to win out to keep this one close.
I'll say 5.
Okay.
5 and I'm okay.
I'll give you 5, Mike.
Oh, Maluk.
Oh.
Gonna take 5 fingers off of B-Wills' hand. No kill found just yet, still. It's aggressive positioning towards A main. This is something we haven't seen. Gonna play a tree. We've seen a few different looks. B-Wills chased by an HE. That's a nice find.
Mm-hmm.
Nice opener, but if they go looking into A main, the question is, are they ready for MarKE? The magician himself. So they found this pick towards B, and now they shift in towards mid. We've seen this protocol so far for TeamOne. Cynic posted in Donut.
They know.
Certainly ready for the possibility. But he's back on the angle. He's clearing it. They could be through mid, and you can see that Carson's considering that possibility. It means these two CT defenders can't full focus in, but based on what they've seen so far, TeamOne are happy to reroute back in towards B. Utility coming over. There's one more Molotov to spare. Maluk can chuck it. Smokes are good. Nothing CJ can do about this. They're locked off the site. Carson trying to get cheeky in the smoke. This time he's punished for it. And so this bomb's going down, and this absolutely should be a safe call, but
nope.
They don't seem to be interested.
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to go for it. CJ's waiting for the smoke to fade. He does get that opener. Makes it a 4v3, so a chance for Nouns to strike true. Here, CJ spots a second. There we go. Even up at a 3v3. Maluk finds MarKE, who was trying to flank out. That should trigger Nouns to be a little more cautious, but no, they continue taking the fight. IDK drops CJ with a perfectly placed shot. Now Cynic still looking to try and get this one under his belt. He finds Pesa, but can't get IDK. Wow. I think Tom was going to run onto the bomb plan anyway, but still, Mike, Nouns fighting tooth and nail to try and keep TeamOne off the board again.
Here's the problem. They can keep so many of these rounds close, so many of these rounds into, tooth and nail situations, into one-on-one type of situations. But if you don't have the utility, you're never really going to get onto that defuse, right? It's just such a tough retake scenario. And it's these kind of calls, sacrificing the battle to win the war, that Nouns seem to have trouble making. They have this amazing ability to create something out of nothing. And at times, they trust that a little bit too much. But it does make for some truly spicy CS. Unlike most teams in the current meta, they don't want to play the long game. They want to fight for every inch.
Certainly a very exciting style of Counter-Strike that Nouns play. There's no question about that. But I don't think there's going to be that much excitement here. This is likely a full-on save. So TeamOne going to get to that 5 mark. Probably. We don't want to say for sure, but probably going to get to that 5 mark you were talking about, Mike.
We cannot say for sure in any round in this game.
No, not at all. And CJ's got a 5-7, so that's enough for me to question, whether TeamOne can get this.
Naked USPs in a 5-7. I'm feeling good. Not going to say, I'd say 95%. Sure.
95 seems fair.
Woo! Maluk. Okay, he's got rifles at hand. They're not caught by the flashbang. That could have gotten real fun real fast. And now it's 98% certainty. Feeling good. Things just going up. 98.5% certainty.
Real-time shifts in the odds.
Real-time odds adjustments in Mike's brain. But they're not certain. TeamOne are still showing a ton of respect. For all they know, there's another hero rifle out here. So they are taking their time with this. They are not giving any room for error. There is such a thing as too much respect, though.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that point now.
I think they're just letting TRK look around and see if he's got A for free. And, well, he doesn't have it for free, but does have it for cheap. Low labor. Rotation towards mid. I mean, even that's a little bit frisky. Player could have been red room.
Yeah.
But they'll get the bomb down. It's all good. It's all comfortable. And at this point, 99.99999. You know what? We'll just go say 100% certainty.
Yeah. But you can tell that Nouns are definitely in the heads of TeamOne. Having them second guessing on a round like this, it's just wow. Realizing that Nouns only had USPs based on their engagements. Although, like you said, I guess you never know if someone's going to invest and go for that hero rifle. And that's the point.
You never do know. You can never be certain.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that they're disciplined here, right? Recognizing that keeping everything up for this next round is important. Mm-hmm. One more round in the half. Which way is it going to split? Double digits Nouns or a heck of a recovery for TeamOne, considering the way this one's once looking. 8-2. 9-3. Once upon a time. Agility exchange here towards Jaguar. He will start to burn, so he will have to put that out. Cynic getting very fortunate at the window peak. Smoke was deployed for it, and now they're sticking around. They're going to fight this. This is so ambitious on the smoke fade. The flashbang, though, is good. B-Wills sets up Cynic for that play, and this is massive now. So much control of the middle of the map for Nouns.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Sorry, Mike.
I was just going to say, look at how disjointed these 3 remaining players are. They're completely
Yeah.
isolated.
I was going to mention that Nouns really fell off of that aggression towards mid, and it was working so very well. And finally, they've gone back to it. And I mean, it's been perfect.
Might get caught here. He even spots the player. Mom's low. Very nervous about this.
Wow. Look at the health.
It's just not a bit to spare. Oh, Walls even gets caught. CJ chasing. What do you even do here if you're Team One? You've got 40 seconds to try and figure this out. You have no control anywhere on the map. Your positioning's all known. You've done damage on the B-Balls at least, but that only gives you the possibility of doing something here in towards mid. And if they try and chase this kill too far, MarKE's now on the angle. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to overextend, trying to take the one that they know, and they're going to get caught by the one in the bush. We have quite the scoreline on our hands here, John. Double digits up for Nouns. They are looking ferocious on Ancient.
Oh, absolutely. I think Nouns are definitely to be feared here on Ancient, at least the way they've played so far. It's given TeamOne fits and starts every single round pretty much, aside from that very short period of time when they got a couple, actually 3 rounds in a row to make it 5. I still feel like those 10 rounds are going to be very difficult for TeamOne to come back from, especially considering that T side tends to be a little bit stronger for Nouns because of their aggressive style of play.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what they've got for us in the second half after this break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Everything is twofold. What's joy is pain on the other hand. And what happens when the one that you love is the main cause of your suffering? I need you like I need air to breathe. I need you to save me from me. I'm caught in your wave, I'm drifting away. I need you to save me.
And we're into this pistol round, and it's already almost done.
Wow.
Okay, why not?
Okay.
It seems to have slanted here towards the Nouns late in the day. And they know where this last player is, so they can go for the long rotate with plenty of time, as they have wasted no time whatsoever. Oh, Carson nearly gets caught swapping to the duel. He still somehow comes out on top, as Maluk can't zero in that kill. Goes from bad to worse for TeamOne, as their no good pistol day continues.
Yeah, 4 for 4 for Nouns on pistols, as they look very lethal. I mean, Carson playing with fire there, going for the dualies, try and pick them up and gain the advantage with 30 rounds available to him. And, well, at least he still gets the frag, and he's able to keep those dualies. And also, more importantly, the 11th round for Nouns, and TeamOne don't invest at all off of that. They want to play just with those pistols and save the money for the following round. That means 4 USPs pretty much dry, and a nade sails on through. CJ takes down IDK, and already leaning towards Nouns, as you would expect. Oh, maybe Mobs can do something? No, only one, and he goes down.
Oh, that was a nice shot at the back of the site. And B's clear. So eventually they will plant the bomb. TRK, you got about a minute. Figure out what you want to do with your life. And in this moment, it's wandering towards mid and get caught by MarKE. This is a tough situation for TeamOne. They're going to invest into this round. They got to purchase up here, but this could be it, frankly, John. I mean, if they lose here, it's 13 on the board for Nouns. It's really tough to claw your way back in.
Yeah, not to mention that Nouns, you got to feel like they're not going to give TeamOne much breathing room. I expect them to have a very fast style of play or on their T side. We'll see. I mean, TeamOne investing into this round, it's still not the best of buy-ups, which is oftentimes why you see the CTs go for a force buy in round number 2 after losing pistol instead of saving it for this one, because it's better off just going for force buy. Hopefully it works out, and then you go for an eco here. So, look, it's going to be 3 FAMASs and 2 M4s available to them. Timeout's going to be called for TeamOne to talk things over, but that's quickly expired. And Nouns, yeah, like you said, winning this round here could be the death blow for TeamOne. Let's see if they do indeed go for that very fast style of play. I think giving TeamOne time to think about things is the last thing you want to do if you're Nouns right now. Keep the pressure on.
I mean, you don't have to tell them twice. That's their favorite thing in the world. Oh, you want pressure? We got pressure. They're pressure cookers, these lads. They just try and keep things amped up as much as possible. Smoke down. Play around.
Oh.
We got a kill out from Mobs. All right, a cheeky spam from the cave. Sees B-Wills laid by the wayside. Get the tank. Back both ways. Here's the fight. Here's the swing. Here's the commitment. And Mobs keeps it to their advantage. A flashbang back in. He wants to chase this. Where's the utility at? There's still a decent amount for both sides, actually. They can go for another swing. Knowing now is they just want another fight. They're not worried about the util. They're worried about the guns. Seems like they're going to group with 55 seconds on the clock and just run in towards B. And as I say that, TeamOne are doing a bit of a rerouting, repositioning. Slightly more passive angles, but they've got these spots. They've got these fights. The nades will chase as well. For minimal impact. Now, smoke into this corner. They've got a chance to plant, but they're saving the util still. Smoke and a molly. You can drop a lot here. There's the smoke up. There's the Molotov. Now they've got the safe
plant. That's a plant for sure. If they go.
Should be. Carson just needs to cross. He will do so.
Oh.
Caught a little bit, but MarKE makes good on it. Now we're into the 2-on-2, and they're fighting forward, continuing to do so. They don't want to slow down. They don't want to back up. Step backwards would mean death. And oh, look at this reroute from Carson. TRK is going to have no idea. Carson pulls the trigger a bit prematurely, so now he has some idea, but MarKE just won't matter if you only hit headshots.
Look, I mean, honestly, that Galil in the right hands is super scary, and MarKE continues to impress me with it. That was a round that felt like it was tilting towards TeamOne until MarKE does that 2K. We didn't see it, but he gets a 2K, and then Carson caps it off with a third, and Nouns take full control. Because, honestly, Cynic got caught off. He looked the wrong way for a moment. I think he was playing anti-flash for a second, and then ends up going down for the count. still doesn't matter. TeamOne can't find that edge here on Ancient. Their map pick. Let's not forget, Malb's going to charge out here potentially through the smoke and try and catch Nouns off guard. Will he do so? He's got a couple of players, or one player with him. He does get that opening frag, and the second after picking up the AK. Then the third onto MarKE, looking for a fourth now. Finally pushed off, but Malbs just tosses caution to the wind, charges forward, and finds himself a 3K to potentially take this round.
Call Malbs the defibrillator, because right now he's trying to shock TeamOne back into action. He's the only piece hitting here for this TeamOne side. He's just trying to make things happen by the strength of his crosshair at this point, and they need it. They need that kind of individual play. TRK trades it out. Malbs, you can rest now. You've done your work. B-Wills. 25 HP. A minute still to play with. A 1v2. This isn't impossible. He's got the first. He's looking in the right direction, but blindsided. Maluk gonna close the distance to make sure, and he's got it indeed.
Whew. Malbs definitely made an impressive play there to keep his team in this one because, I mean, they needed something special to come through, and Malbs delivers. He's, in fact, the only player with a positive kill-to-death differential at this point. 19 and 16, +3 kill-to-death differential, and everyone else far below it. Maybe Maluk a little bit closer to that 1 KDR mark, but everyone else is just wow. Nouns still have a buy-up that's available to them, and they will take it. It's an AK and 4 Galils, but they want to try for this one. Again, an important round for TeamOne, and the buy-up is much better, of course, this time around, but the money, not good.
Malbs. He's got it. Again, an opener, and he slips away as well. They can't chase that kill. They wanted it. But he's done such a good job of getting down the B ramp, finding these first engagements here. It's a massive asset for TeamOne. He's just doing it himself. It's not like there's a flash really anything for it. He's just finding the fights and making it happen. So 3 bodies here. If Nouns gets sucked into this, they are going to find a very tough site to take.
MarKE. He's made his way into Jaguar. He wants to peek Cave, but perhaps waiting for some util to be tossed forward before he does. 40 seconds left. Time is ticking away, and there we go. Nouns going to pull the trigger. Probably too late. Pesa is going to get one onto Carson, and now they've been smoked off out of Cave. This is such a bad situation for Nouns. I don't know what they do out of this.
Drop down. They're making something happen here. Maluk trying to force the issue through the smoke. That's so ambitious. But the health, it's not here. 15 seconds on the clock. MarKE's just trying to get a gun. And there's an HE. There's an HE. TRK pull that pin, and he's a dead man. MarKE's trying to dodge that HE, trying to dodge the nade, trying to find damage. 3 seconds. He literally cannot plant the bomb. And at this point, he will die after time as well. So no loss bonus for MarKE. Situation fumbled, and TeamOne, they see their path back into this game now illuminated.
Oh, absolutely. I think Nouns took their foot off the gas a little too early on in this half. A lot of respect being shown for TeamOne, I guess for good reason, the way TeamOne have played so far in the series, but I thought they would keep putting the pressure on, but instead they were going for slower, more methodical plays, and that gave TeamOne the space they needed to get back into this. And now, well, I mean, look, MarKE did not get that loss bonus, but it's not a big deal because it's just going to be a pistol round coming through for Nouns anyway, and he decides, you know what, if someone's going to invest in something, I guess it should be me. Get that deagle. See what they can do. Only 2 players on to be this time. Nouns, just the Glocks. Just so little to work with here, Mike, in this round for them.
Somehow I'm still not willing to count them out.
No, of course not.
They should be out. They seem to be a little stumped for ideas here. We've seen a lot of these plays just focus on the early B fight, right? You'd imagine they've got this idea that they can kill Malbs early, and then there's not much behind it for TeamOne. But it's stalled out a little bit here. So this round, we're not expecting much.
Malbs has been the only one shining, Mike.
He has. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen any actual take towards A. We've seen a lot of fights in mid, but usually it kind of ends in mid before they actually get towards the site. So here comes an A-take, but it's just with Glocks. So IDK about to eat. Feed the man. Not much. He's not too hungry. TRK instead going to seal the deal on this round. Last bolt in the gun, last shot on. Round win.
Yeah, I was gonna say IDK might go down in that situation because he's got 4 players coming in on him without really having that crossfire set up because TRK is watching A main. But once IDK goes down, TRK would have feasted anyway, and that's exactly what happened. So there you go. 8th round picked up by TeamOne. Still a 5-round lead here for Nouns, which is what they walked into this half with. So, not too bad for them. And they've got another buy-up coming through. It's going to be 4 AKs and, of course, just the deagle for MarKE because he didn't get that loss bonus a couple of rounds ago. So he's biting the bullet now, accepting the fact that he has to settle for the deagle. And look at IDK. He's not settling for anything. He's got a 2K coming through. Carson manages to get the trade, but he's gone now. TRK, the supporting cast here for TeamOne, coming alive.
Here's the difference as well. On the CT side of an Ancient, right, you have the utility to set up those aggressive mid plays. The smokes were all over the place. That allows you to go down, go for that window peek, go for that fight early on. That's how you make it happen. If you're a CT side, that's how you add an extra element into it. So now Nouns are in recovery mode. Cynic and MarKE. Even if they can't win this round, damage would certainly be nice. But it's still winnable. I mean, we've seen man advantage situations get away from TeamOne before. Cynic's just going to see what he can get here from the cave.
There's the util as well. MarKE is going to use some of that. Smoke comes through.
Cynic clearing his angles. Nobody here. Going a 50-50 swing into the cubby, but actually, Wall's moving off. Smoke up on this. Pesa trying to play the gap. Trying to spot anything he can just on these pixels. A bomb. It's crossing to plant. Pesa might go through this.
Molotov.
Ooh, he's gonna burn. He's gonna burn. It's spread. And Pesa, the healthy loss could not withstand. John MarKE is under pressure here, and he knows it. That gun is so lethal, they're nervous about peeking him. Eventually, they'll bring him down, so it's a 1v3, but Cynic's picked up another molly. Is there a smoke here?
No.
There is. They've spent it in towards cave. The Molotov could actually bring the ground. Or he could just got them all down, but he swings. He doesn't even consider the molly he's picked up.
Oh, no.
And TRK is able to seal the deal on the round. Still a bomb plant, bringing it down to 1 in a 2v4. It's impressive, but that one was nearly winnable for Nouns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I honestly don't think that Cynic realized he picked up the Molotov because he probably would have thrown it immediately before even trying to take those fights. But yeah, it almost goes his way. Nicely done on the first 2, but cannot get the third. And Nouns fall by the wayside, but at least make it exceptionally expensive for TeamOne. And they get the bomb plant along with their loss bonus. It's going to be another buy-up. So the pressure continues to mount here for TeamOne, trying to crack their way into double digits. And there go a ton of nades on forward onto the ramp, predicting perhaps a quick play from Nouns, but it doesn't happen. Nouns biding their time, going for some more patient posturing here on Ancient.
There's that mid smoke. This is reminiscent of what TeamOne did in a lot of their rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set up outside B main, fight for a little bit of aggression, shift in towards some mid control. Bomb moving solo, that's a little bit of a different look. Oh, Mobs gonna do a heavy damage exchange here with CJ. Both sides coming up worse for the wear. This is gonna pull a third player over towards B. Sets up Carson to get a lot of space here and towards mid, and this is finally the counterpunch coming through from Nouns. This is finally them considering this a site. You have TRK up on tree. You have Maluk at the back of site. Both of them have full belts of utility. It's a ton of nades. The problem is finding the timing to use those nades. There it is. The bomb committed as well. Dropped onto the tree. This couldn't have gone better for TRK. Carson needs his kill in mid. He's under so much pressure. He'll get it.
That helps.
Recovering this C4 is going to be a brutal challenge. The ops up, the smokes are here, the utility is guising off its location. Carson has to try and alleviate the pressure, and he's good to do so. My goodness, how is this falling apart? Retrieving the bomb itself, that'll still be a challenge.
What?
And they're not even going to have the opportunity. Pesa and Mobs arrive in the nick of time, vaporize them as they exit the smoke. TeamOne hang on.
Wow, that ended a lot faster than I thought it would, given the situation. I mean, Carson comes around, gets the first towards connector, right? And then he comes in and finds a second onto the opera. So you figure, okay, here the pressure's off. They can try and recover that bomb now. But immediately, TeamOne just isolate all 3 players and lock them down without so much as a whisper of a fight from Nouns. But here come Nouns again. Here's that hero AK for Carson. Already gets IDK. Could have a second onto TRK as well. TRK down to 48 HP. Carson continuing to push forward. Smokes can get thrown. They want to put the pressure on now. Maluk gets isolated by the Molotov. There's Carson. We're going to shoot for a second.
Bomb.
The AK's doing all the work.
The bomb's separated from this pack of players. They've got everything on towards the site, but now they feel like they have to battle in to clear Donut to be able to get a plant, because by the time the player gets here, I mean, they may not have a smoke.
Just go B at this point with the bomb.
Cynic is routing in towards pinching Donut. Do they know they still have a player here? This is madness. There is no world where Pace is going to expect to be flanked, but he turns around in time, and this was a winning situation, turning into a 1v1. Smoke up here. Pace is giving himself a little bit of cover to operate on. The nade's not going to do enough damage for it to matter. Desperation here for Carson, but he's got a minute to play with. He can attack us from a few different angles, and Pesa has to know about it, but he's still got smokes to drop down. That's the smoke that Cynic had. Using his opponent's utility against them. And he's reading that Carson might have gone for the rotate in towards mid. It's a good guess. It's a good read. He hasn't. Pace is going to reposition instead. This is so bold. Giving up the C4. Making the risky play. Gambling. Putting it all in black. If Carson just clears in, he's going to find nothing. But meanwhile, Pesa is continuing to work this in. Carson will have to come back towards the side. I don't think he has time enough to rotate towards B, and that would be the craziest call of his life if he did so. Meanwhile, Pesa, he's been playing him like a fool. Guarantees the round, secures it. Still, that should have been Nouns if the bomb hit.
I don't think they expected to find that much on their initial take of the A site, although I'm not even sure what Cynic was waiting behind for. Perhaps, you know, they were going to try and get some space on A. They were maybe going to get one. The trade comes through, and then they fall back and rejoin with Cynic to go to the B site. But Cynic ends up in no man's land. And if he had been, like you said, with the pack, they get the bomb plant and probably the round, because then they don't have to aggress as much into Donut, like you mentioned. Anyway, it doesn't work out, but, you know, it was a limited buy-up for Nouns with just the hero AK that almost turned into a round victory. So,
yeah,
still impressive.
Chaos Incarnate is the name of the game here with Nouns, especially on a map they don't necessarily play so much of. Woo! Cooling down here, John.
Yeah.
Cooling down. Still, though, I think this has opened up the possibility for Nouns that they might be a little bit more inclined here towards A, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Image on. Okay, a trade there's not bad. TRK getting a kill elsewhere, though. That makes life a lot easier. Molotov exchange is going to push the player back in towards A main, and so they hold on to this spot. And the big question is going to be, when does Pesadelo get adventurous? Flashbang to make him think twice about it. But if he peeks out window right now, he's got so much control of this situation. Nice kill. Good flash, good kill. TRK yeah. Tucked in, trying to guarantee this, and he will indeed. Now he's got a position to play from. He's kept the advantage in favor of his team, and Flashbang to set him back up. Working out. They might have to concede the bomb plant, but actually with no smokes on the T side, they're going to have to shoot their way out to even get past these 2K players. In towards Donut. Nightmares to contend with, and that's going to be it. 2 players surviving for TeamOne. We're just 1 round away from a tied scoreline here, John.
Man, I'm not sure if that was a bit of a miscomm there, because CJ getting that 1 player and realizing the second was already there probably just could have waited to take the fight or waited for reinforcements to come through. The other 2 players were still working their way through A main while CJ just jumped into the air. And it looked like he was trying to create a distraction, but for what at that point? Literally no one was there to try and get an immediate trade. So, Nouns, despite gaining some ground there towards the A site, not able to get a bomb plant nor a round victory. And like you said, yeah, and TeamOne have really closed the gap now. It was 13-8, even 13-7. Nouns leads the boy. What a shot from Cynic! And now he pushes up for the second. Here we go.
Pace on! These are the kind of rounds where they can just turn everything on its head. Mobs is still here. He's got one. He's got one. There's utility to block him off. They're going to start to deploy that, but this might be a bomb plan here, and I don't think Mobs can deny it. And look at this flank developing from Carson. He's coming all the way from downtown, around the world. No one's watching for him.
Needs to be
Got the
careful,
spots.
though.
Oh, he might have the shot. Slumped the first, but he's still going to connect. Damage on TRK down to half. The Deagle ringing true. This is still recoverable, but it's going to be tough. And now TRK alone. Disaster! And B-Wills finishes it. They let them get so close, John. They let them get so close, but then in a broken buy, in a force up, that's where they pull the rug out from under them.
Oh my goodness, they're so good in those rounds. It's the second time here on this T side that they've managed to pull that together with just the AK charging up, doing the damage, and then guns picked up off the ground and sweeping TeamOne right off their feet. And because Nouns have been so aggressive and so able, excuse me, not necessarily aggressive, but so able to take down the bodies of TeamOne, look at their money. TeamOne haven't lost a round for, I think, 5-6 rounds in a row, and they can't get more than a force buy here. Maybe the force buy's enough, though. IDK gets the opener onto Carson. Look at this aggression from TeamOne. Nouns thought they had the space to gain. Not only lose a player, MarKE's down to 30, and CJ's down to 53. There also is a gun potentially able to be picked up here by TeamOne. The chaos continues.
There's CJ trying to keep that rifle out of their hands, but they've snuck it away from him under the cover of smoke. Okay, taking the space in towards A main. This is going to be information even more valuable than his crosshair is his info. And look at the gamble. As a result of it, Maluk can watch in towards mid, in towards the red room. The one potential avenue here, it's Donut. Oh, TRK keeps going. Is anyone watching for this flank? They are indeed. MarKE holding for it. And he's going to be good for it. That's a big find. Now that's going to spread this defense back out. May allow some order to restabilize Maluk. If he can get an angle here in towards mid, it's such a deadly gun. But they're heading in towards B. And TeamOne are leaving. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Timing rough here for the Brazilian squad. They're trying to get this information in towards mid. You can't blame them for it, but they've got it in time. And now they're rotating back through. What kind of util is there? There's no smokes, John.
Does it matter?
It's got to be Molly's. It's got to be Molly's, but these sightlines are going to be so very risky. IDK shows exactly why. And the bomb's dropped. The bomb's dropped. They've got no health. Look at the health, John. Bomb's going down. IDK. He gets the one. Can he find the second as well? Both of them just posted, waiting for MarKE to make his move, but he's found the first. MarKE. Headshot could be enough. Body shots, frankly, IDK's not healthy either. It all comes down to who's quicker on the trigger.
Oh, no.
MarKE trying to bait this out. IDK down for the count. The headshot is good. Map point is found.
Oh, man. I thought IDK was going to get that ace. Everything setting up perfectly for him, but MarKE just a little bit faster. Got the information on the peak, I believe, and then afterwards gets the headshot on to IDK, and there it is. The 15th round has been found for Nouns, and TeamOne, they're going to have to try for a force buy again because there's no money available for a proper buy up and no time either. They're out of rounds.
They're out of them indeed. What they have here, desperation. Maluk already down. The scout, one of their better guns into this round. Pace, he'll get one. Trades there. Pressure onto the pillar. Mobs. There is over time for the Mobs, Deeg. Well, it's not today. This is all falling apart. Trades galore, all onto TRK. A 5-7. And no more dreams. Nouns take it in the 2-0. Dominance in the first half of both maps. TeamOne make a game of it, make a go of it. But John, they just didn't have the ability to contend with some of these maddening chaos rounds. It felt like every time TeamOne should have pulled ahead,